Welcome back to ADHD Whiskey. My name is Matt, and today we are doing a little bit of a bourbon skirmish. Josh and Aaron over at Stuff and Whiskey, they were talking about the best alternatives to Blantons. And when I first saw their video, I thought to myself, Blade and Bow. And then they mentioned Blade and Bow. And then I was like, have I ever done a head-to-head? Have they ever gone one-on-one? Mano-y-mano, face-to-face? Have they ever been locked inside of a garage with me and a bunch of cardboard boxes and had it out? Have they ever been in a bourbon skirmish? My answer to that was, I don't even remember. I don't know if I've done it or not. So that's what we're doing tonight, right after I tell you about today's video sponsor, IntoTheAM.com. IntoTheAM.com makes the finest quality clothing on the planet. And I'm one picky son of a gun. When I open up a package from Into the AM and I drape their super soft shirts across my nipples, I just cannot get enough. These things are stretchy and comfy and smooth, and they make me feel so good. They're graphic tees like this. Look at this one. Look at this graphic tee and how sweet it is. It's got a lighthouse on it with a serpent wrapping itself around the lighthouse. It's like, what's that serpent even doing there? What's it looking out for? A good deal? Well, if you want a good deal and that's what you're looking for, click on the link in my description below, IntoTheAM.com/ADHD. Use code ADHD10 at checkout. You'll save yourself 10% on some of the best clothing known to man. Now that we've talked about IntoTheAM.com, let's talk about Blade and Bow. And let's talk about Blantons. Both of these bottles are seriously murdered out in like keys and dates and horses. It's got on leggings made out of rubber. But the question is Blantons a better bourbon than Blade and Bow? Or will this Blade and Bow Stitzelweller son of a bitch jockey for position and come out on top? Glass markers from Age Denore. How do you open them? Got it. Or America. For the Blantons, I'll write a B on the bottom of the glass. For the Blade and Bow, shit. Well, that's not gonna work. I'll put BL for Blade and Bow. And then for the Blantons, I'll change it to BLA. And then for Blade and, dang it, BLAD, Blad. And then Bland. Oh, these are very similar in spelling. America. Confusion time. Spinning the Julie-like wheel of confusion. Spinning it so fast, so out of control. Glass number one. Glass number one is getting super spinny and super dizzy, giving it a little bit of an SJ. We're just lubricating the inside of the glass with this bourbon whiskey's lubricating oily ass. A little bit of a fruit cup. Like a mixed berry fruit cup that you peel open and get juice all over yourself. Unless, of course, it's the ones that's in water, in which case, what are you doing? You probably want the one that has the fruit juice in it. Just saying, what's the point in having it watered down with a bunch of sugary water? Idiots. Oh, nice. Yeah. Little apple, little cherry, little pear, little apricot. Fruit cocktail in a glass, super sweet. What do you say, Matt? Do you enjoy the nose on glass number one? I do. I kind of enjoy it. I enjoy it. Glass number one is light on the palate. It's light on the palate and fruity. Reminds me a little bit of a Sprite remix. Like that, remember the Sprite remix drink? It was clear, but it was like berry flavored Sprite. Super awesome. Sprite Rick remix. For its proof point, you're not expecting it to do a whole bunch of crazy things to the inside of your mouth, but but both of these bourbons are hovering right above 90 proof. Blantons is 93, Blade & Bow is 91. Moving to glass 2 and giving it a swirlaroo. We're giving this bourbon the old counterclockwise surprise. Going in for a nose at number 2. Oh, different but yummy. Okay. Alright. This nose has got a little tiny tinge of a funk to it. This one has a little bit of a sawmill vibe to it. Like green lumber. Like green lumber. You walk into a Home Depot by yourself and you strut directly towards the building material and you're headed right towards the untreated lumber. The closer you get to smelling this. There it is. Little untreated lumber. Little floral. A little bit of floral notes coming off of glass number 2. I'm not an expert in flowers, but flowers. A little bit of a dandelion. This isn't candy sweet or super fruity sweet like glass A, but it's more like a semi-sweetness. Number 2 is whispering in my ear some very nice things, like yum. And yes, subtly sweet with a bit of spice, not overly sweet, not overly spicy, a very traditional bourbon palate. Very brown sugar, oak, subtle sweet vanilla, a little bit of a charness happening here, a little bit of barrel char. There's a little bit of cola, like a little bit of like a flat, off-brand Coke. Tastes like you're drinking flat Faygo cola out of a wooden cup. Enjoyable. I like glass 2. Let's do the old one-on-one comparison. Glass 1, glass 2. Ooh, glass 1, glass 2. Both of these noses are good, but they're good in their own way. I like glass 2 a lot. It's got like a little bit of funkiness to it, a little bit of woodiness to it, and a little bit of subtle sweetness. But glass number 1 is a fruit cocktail in a glass, which is really pleasing my gigantic ass tonight. Glass number 1 is the winner on the nose. Glass 1. Glass 2. Glass number 1 stands out as the fruitier, sweeter, more bursting with flavor bourbon. Glass 2, also very good, very tasty, not quite as dynamic, not quite as rambunctious, not quite as flamboyant. Glass number 1 is very flamboyant. Glass number 2, also very good, but kind of shyer and hiding in the shadows a bit. Glass number 1 is sweet, sexy, and fun. Both of these very good, but I do think there's a clear winner tonight. And tonight, I do prefer glass number 1. The referee, who's me, calls a stop to this contest at 2 minutes 44 seconds of round number 2, declaring the winner by technical knockout due to oblique kick, causing a disgusting knee injury. Glass number 1, which is Blantons. Well, tonight the Buffalo Trace profile of sweet cherry goodness came out on top because the Blade & Bow just didn't puncture the fruity bubble of Blantons. Blade & Bow, still really good, but tonight it just could not overtake the fruity scrutiny that the Blantons proved to me what it could do to me. Do I think Blade & Bow is a good alternative to Blantons? Absolutely. Josh and Aaron from Stuff and Whiskey got that one right. Absolutely 100%. If you can't find Blantons, but you can find a Blade & Bow, I think you will have a very similar tasting experience. You'll have a bottle that is collectible and shaped with lots of different edges. I think it's like a moxagon or a moxicillinagon, one of those two. You can collect keys and become like a key keeper or a beekeeper or something. My name is Matt, this is ADHD Whiskey. Like I always say, keep your head in the clouds, but your mind on being thankful to people like you, who watch people like me drink stuff like this in front of a camera. And then I edit it. I edit it for so long. And then I put it on the internet and hopefully nobody calls anybody around me a whore. Seriously, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Thank you so much for hitting the thumbs up, for leaving a comment below. Let me know how good I look in a Lighthouse t-shirt from intotheam.com. If you're not subscribed, hit subscribe. It's free, and if you don't do it, you're dumb.